Hi guys, welcome back to our channel Autistic Multiple Life. This channel was created to erase stigma around autism, dissociative identity disorder and other type of neurodiversities. Sorry that I don't made more videos recently. I have really bad time, difficult time. And this video would be short. I just want to ask you one question. When you're thinking about some kind of disaster or some kind of conflict, what do you think? How many casualties was in this conflict? How many casualties was because of this disaster? I don't know. For example, how many people died during Chernobyl disaster or disaster in Fukushima? How many people died because of Holocaust or 9/11 or during wars in Afghanistan and Iraq? Maybe you know the questions from encyclopedias, from statistic data, but your answer more likely would be wrong. Actually, they would be wrong, because you're speaking about how many, not just because you're speaking about you couldn't know all people who died. Sometimes it's very difficult to understand, to count all casualties or victims, but not just because of that. It's also because you know how to explain it. You only counting the bodies. You only counting one body, one mind. The stuff that exists in our culture, that one person could have only one consciousness, one person could have only one soul, one person could have only one personality. You don't thinking about multiple people, about plural people. But for example, do you really believe that when we're speaking about victim of Holocaust or victim of 9/11 attack, or I don't know why in Iraq, or even some, I don't know, some fire in some hospital somewhere, all people that died there was only singlet, was only people who have one personality in their bodies? I don't think so, because especially we're speaking about big disasters, especially we speak about big tragedies, because nearly 2% of people, from 1 to 2% of people are multiple their systems, so they have more than one personality in their bodies. Some of them could have 2 personalities, some of them could have 100 personalities. So actually people, these numbers of people who died during Holocaust is much more than you're thinking about. This kind of number of people who died because of recent coronavirus epidemic is much more than you could thinking about, that actually you could count. And I really hope that in the future you could find we would have this society when most people who are multiple knew that they are multiple, and we would have these archives, we just have this information about all the cultures, all those personalities who was living, who haven't their dreams, who haven't their own, I don't know, their own desires, their own goals, and they don't just erase it from history. They don't just would be erased like this. I really hope that in the future more multiple people, more systems, more alters could be themselves, and we more likely could count all these numbers. But now we couldn't speak about tragedies and mass murders and disasters, epidemics that are going on now or that was going on in the past, and news and number of casualties. And it's really sad that no one even thinking about it, no one even was speaking about it before. It's mean like not only our life but even our death, the death of others, this just erased, this just ignored. Society don't actually value our life, and this needs to be changed. this need to be changed by more information. This need to be changed every day when we try to be ourselves, and when we try to make people who are close to us to understand that we, alters, are real people. And when we think about history, I think we need to change this narrative inside our mind. We need to understand that, yes, people like we exist before, alters like we, personalities like we exist before. Yes, when we're speaking about some kind of tragedy in the past, people like us were the victim of this tragedy. Only their death and their life erased. And even when we're speaking not just about tragedy, but when we're speaking about, I don't know, some kind of achievement, some kind of good stuff, like for example, do you really believe that there was no multiple people in feminist movement or in black liberation movement? I don't think so, there was. Do we really believe that there was no multiple people when we're speaking about, I don't know, famous doctors who saved lives? Well, not just famous doctors, but doctors who really save lives. Or when we're speaking about authors who write books, of course there was multiple people. There were multiple people who changed life around us, who made our world like this, this world like this now. And we needed to remember. When we don't know the names, we couldn't know the names yet, we just need to remember that people like we always exist, and don't erase them from history when we are speaking about history. This could be the first step to changing how our society view our life. Thank you so much for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to make it more visible. See you next time. Bye.